Did you know that there is an entire nation which celebrates its Independence Day on October? Well, today we are traveling down south to the beautiful Pacific Islands of Fiji to explore how this tropical paradise became a sovereign nation. Stay tuned till the end to find out. On October 10, 1970, after nearly a century of colonial rule, the Pacific Island nation of Fiji officially gained its independence from Britain. The moment was celebrated as a milestone in the South Pacific, not just for Fijians but for the region as a whole, as it demonstrated that decolonization could be achieved peacefully through negotiation and diplomacy. But before we explore how Fiji gained its independence, let's take a moment to understand its colonial background. Fiji's colonial chapter began in 1874. At that time, the islands were a collection of around 300 small chieftainships with a population of about 100,000 people. But by the mid-19th century, these fragmented societies faced numerous challenges. Internal conflicts, the introduction of European firearms, and the allure of foreign trade networks created a volatile mix that threatened the region's stability. High chiefs, seeking to protect their people and lands, turned to an unlikely ally, Great Britain. On October 14, 1874, representatives from around 100 chiefly families met at a constitutional conference known as the Great Council of Chiefs. Facing internal conflict and pressure from foreign interests, they ceded their lands to Britain. The British Crown colony of Fiji was established, and for the next 96 years, the colonial government oversaw the island's administration, economy, and legal systems. The British introduced a plantation-based economy heavily reliant on sugar production. They also brought in over 60,000 indentured laborers from India between 1879 and 1916 to work on the sugar plantations. These workers, known locally as Germatias, were bound to 5-year contracts, often under harsh working conditions. After their contracts expired, many stayed in Fiji, forming the foundation of today's Indo-Fijian community. This migration transformed Fiji into a multicultural society made up of indigenous Itake Fijians, Indo-Fijians, and smaller communities of Europeans, Chinese, and other Pacific Islanders. However, the colonial government often implemented racially divided political structures with separate electoral rolls and land policies, sowing the seeds of ethnic division. Throughout the 20th century, Fiji saw the gradual introduction of constitutional reforms aimed at preparing the colony for self-government and eventual independence. Prominent Fijian leaders, most notably Ratu Sir Kamisese Mara, championed a path toward independence that preserved harmony between ethnic groups while ensuring political stability. Mara, an Oxford-educated high chief, emerged as the key figure who could unite Fiji's diverse communities. The 1960s saw increasing political participation for both indigenous and Indo-Fijians, and by 1967, Fiji had achieved internal self-government with Mara as chief minister. Negotiations with the British government soon focused on full sovereignty. On October 10, 1970, Fiji's Independence Day dawned as a day of unity and hope. The official ceremony took place at Albert Park in Suva, Fiji's capital city. Thousands of people, a sea of faces from all corners of the young nation, turned out to witness this historic event. The park was adorned with flags, not just the British Union Jack coming down for the final time, but also the new flag of independent Fiji, featuring the Southern Cross and a design that symbolized unity and independence. Prominent among the crowd were members of the British royal family, including the then Prince Charles, representing Queen Elizabeth II. Also present were leaders from across the Pacific region, all there to witness the birth of a new nation. Ratu Sir Kamisese Mara, the leader who had steered Fiji to independence, was at the heart of the ceremony. As the first Prime Minister of independent Fiji, he pledged to lead with unity and cooperation among the different ethnic groups being his top priority. The ceremony concluded with the hoisting of Fiji's new flag and a 21-gun salute, echoing the excitement and pride of a nation taking its first steps into the world stage. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the hopes and dreams for the future of this young nation. It was a day that marked the end of colonial rule and the beginning of a new era for Fiji. In the decades following independence, Fiji experienced both progress and setbacks. While it made significant strides in areas such as healthcare and education, it also faced challenges like economic reliance on sugar exports and ethnic tensions that sometimes boiled over into political instability, including several coups. Despite these challenges, Fiji has persevered, demonstrating a remarkable spirit of resilience and a commitment to democracy. Today, Fiji Day, celebrated annually on October, is a reminder of the nation's rich history and the hard-won freedom that shaped its path. It's a day for Fijians to come together, not just to reminisce about the past, but to reaffirm their unity and their commitment to building a better future for their beloved nation. We hope you enjoyed this journey through time to this beautiful island nation. If you did, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more educational content. Thanks for watching.